spectacular Southern California. The surf, sand, and sensational memories of a visit to an unforgettable destination. And an ideal location for some of the best young athletes in North America to unite. The Premier Girls Fastpitch National Championship in Irvine, California is an unmatched test of skill, teamwork, and perseverance. For nearly a decade, the best softball players in the world have gathered in this beautiful place and battled for the true national championship. The PGF 12U Premier National Championship is next. On an amazing day yet again, what's new in Southern California? This beautiful complex, Deanna Manning Stadium, Bill Barber Park in Irvine. Out of Texas, just south of Houston, Diamond Sports Hotshots, they have earned their way along with the Tennessee Mojo out of Cookeville, Tennessee. This is the PGF 12U Premier Championship. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. Amanda Freed, Olympic gold medalist, and of course an All-American at UCLA. My name is Darren Sutton. So we see a team like Tennessee, the Mojo, 2 years ago as a 10U team, they win it all. Obviously these experiences, albeit at a young age, can be very impactful and important.
Oh, definitely, from here on out throughout their career, but to be able to play on this stage in front of a live audience and this level of competition, the way that they've had to work through this entire tournament says so much about their character at that young age and the potential they have moving forward. And both of these teams come from organizations that are very deeply talented. So there's a lot of potential here in these two clubs.
In softball hotbeds, certainly. We'll introduce you to both these teams. The Hotshots, with Mariah Poehler at the very top of the order. Look forward to introducing you to all of these athletes as we let them get started with McKee, Brown, and Jones. The first four, Samaya Jones in the circle as well. Ashton Danley is in the circle and ready to go for the Mojo, and away we go. Let's earn a national championship with these young athletes. Looking forward to watching them play. Mariah Poehler heading into 8th grade at Ronald McNair Junior High School. As that one sails down and away. The Hotshots, Pearland, Texas, which is south of Houston, and several other suburbs as well. Dad played the sport, and obviously when you talk about Poehler, her father passed down the diamond sport. By the way, that's Steve Jones. Dad Martin is on that coaching staff, played college baseball. Ashton Danley in the circle, dials up a strike, 2-2 the count. It's one of those days. You bet, boy, that's a great shot, isn't it? That one sails down and away, 3-2 the count.
Yeah, we couldn't dial up better weather. And look at it, Danley in the circle. She throws a low 60s drop changeup and a little curveball coming from the left side.
Ashton going into 8th grade, wrapping up her middle school journey at North Middle School. As we talked about, Central right there in the heart of Middle Tennessee, Cookeville, Tennessee. This Mojo program, and one with a lot of successes. 2 years ago they were champs, and those that were a part of it remember it. Certainly one of those was this pitcher in the circle. Ashton was part of that team. She dreams of pitching at Florida State someday. Little roller, and that one's foul. We'll do it again. Laisha Dellison starts things in left. It's Roman and Miles with Sailor, Davis, Jackson, and Huddleston on the infield. And Kylie Straught, her battery mate, behind home plate. Well, if first at bat sent any message, it's going to be a battle today, because Danley had her hands full with Poehler. That was a great way to start things.
That was a great at bat from the leadoff. Saw a lot of pitches, relayed some information to her team in the dugout.
Maddox, she goes by Maddie McKee. Runner takes off, throw down on a hop. Tag, pop down, ball bounces loose. and so a stolen base. Looked like the throw, and a nice job getting in there and covering by Rose Davis, but with the slide, the ball popped loose.
Yeah, good jump at first base, and it looks like this throw was going to be right on the money, just a little short hop, a nice tag applied, but that ball does get away for a split second. Nice eyes by the umpire.
That one is a rolled foul. So we do it again, no balls and 2 strikes to count on Maddie McKee, Oak Hills Junior High School in Montgomery, Texas. Wants to keep playing for as long as she can, was part of that 10U PGF championship team. That eye black in the form of a cross below both eyes. Reaches out, moves out runner to third. In the end, she certainly would have loved to have done more, but that's perfect. Especially with the infield as tight as it was.
A good job getting that bunt down, or getting the sacrifice down on the ground to move the runner over.
This is Ava Brown, and Ava Brown 00 on the back of that jersey. Chops that one foul, the first baseman for the Diamond Sports Hotshot team, and an 8th grader at Oak Hills Junior High School. Kelly is mom, Ryan is dad, and that's a bouncing ball out towards short. They'll look the runner back, fire it on across. Racing back to the bag is Huddleston. She was a step or 2 off. And a key out, Davis and Huddleston getting together there.
This is an interesting play. A great job. Davis looks her back long enough, makes a good throw. And look at Huddleston over there. Has to find first base quickly for the out, but she does.
A beautiful pitch there as that big sweeping curveball started away, and she's dealing with a great athlete, her fellow pitcher in Samaya Jones. Maya on the ground, good speed, long throw, got her! Wow, what a play! Rose Davis from deep in the hole just saved a run. Oh, we're off to a great start, aren't we? The PGF 12U Premier National Championship game. It's going to be a great day.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
No matter the age of the girls I train, you can always tell the ones that may go far. It's in their eyes. It's in their focus. They know it doesn't need to be pretty or perfect. Growth will come. You can see when they own that. When they decide that getting better is more important than their fear of failing. That's when their game changes. That's when everything changes. That's when these girls become unstoppable.
And an unstoppable play to end things. Last half inning, away we go into the bottom half of the first inning. The Tennessee Mojo on this gorgeous Irvine, California day, dealing with Samaya Jones in the circle.
Samaya will come at you at the low 60s with a nice curve and a good drop ball that she likes to use for her strikeout pitch, and she'll come with a good changeup as well.
Jace Jackson will be her first foe. Heading into 8th grade at Luella Middle School. Jackson followed by Roman, Danley, Huddleston. DeLesson, Davis, Saylor, Stratton, Hawks will introduce you to all of these athletes throughout this broadcast. Maya definitely had a base hit taken away. She spins that one outside. Screwball to start things off. Jace Jackson would love to play at Auburn or Tennessee. That's her dream destination. The Tennessee native does what you're supposed to do with a pitch away and slaps it foul, 1-1. Was a part of that team that won it all in 2016. We'll mention each member of the 6 who were PGF national champions at the 10U level 2 years ago. Again, takes a shot the other way. Michael Danley, along with his staff, Richie Davis, Martin Roman, and John Hawks. There in the heart of the state of Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. See that star right there in the outline of the state on that good-looking orange shirt he was wearing. Lifted into left center field, sliding and holding on. Polar with a great play. Had a defense perfectly, but still had to do everything right.
Now this looked like it was gonna fall right on the grass line, but Polar up and with that catch. 2 hands to make sure she's got it. And Jones loving her defense.
You bet with a smile there. This is Anna Roman. Boy, is that a lively screwball, misses outside. Roman's just a 6th grader, so younger player with the opportunity on this team. Jackson Heights Middle School. Florida State, a team that she dreams of playing for someday. Slaps that one the other way, and you have to anticipate a lot of that from left-handed hitters with the liveliness in the arm of Samaya Jones. Away, away, away with the spin. Really swung around. They're anticipating everything being slapped that way. Bouncing ball, hits it a bit against the defense, and because of that, she's got a base hit. Angelina Morales did all she could to make a diving play on that one.
And Morales is already playing up the middle, so she gets to this, just gets a little bit out of her reach as she approaches second base.
Great effort by Morales. We saw a great play by Polar a moment ago. Cruz and Williams flank her in the outfield. Fuentes, McKee, Brown round out the infield. Paris Kimball, number 99 in the back of that jersey, works behind the plate. That one dives away. Ashton Danley. Pitcher meets pitcher here. The second time this has occurred. Obviously, both great athletes hit higher up in the order. And the count is 1-1. Right away, I'd like to get in the box with you if you're a left-handed hitter and you're dealing with everything hard and away. What are some of the choices you may make as a hitter?
Well, as a hitter, you look for that zone, and obviously with less than 2 strikes, you find that zone, you get a good pitch in there, and you drive it opposite field, and then when you get 2 strikes, you're in protect mode.
Lifted, left side, a stumble in the outfield. Okay, though, because McKee was right where she wanted to be. Thought about doubling off the runner, and an errant throw will move the runner into scoring position. McKee did the right thing until that one slipped off her fingertips, and she fired it high. 2 outs in the inning, though. Roman does move to second. Stanley, as you said, tried to drive that pitch away, just got underneath it.
Yeah, it was a good idea, this pitch, a little off the plate. Nice run down by McKee at shortstop, but this is not a necessary throw across the field. The runner's already at first base.
Uncomfortable with pitches like that when you're a right-handed hitter. Michaela Huddleston, about to be an 8th grader. Field school. In on the hands, popped up. Good chase there. Kimball can't get there from behind the plate. Michaela's dad is Steve, mom is Becca. Parents both played on the diamond at the college level. Great-grandfather, a good baseball name, that Huddleston name. Played for the Dodgers in the major leagues as a pitcher. For the first time, something straight hits the outside corner.
Yeah, she was coming in tight at the hands, and that's how difficult it is to get your hands through and around that inside pitch and then protect the outside in that very next pitch.
Changeup didn't do what she wanted it to with that runner at second. Diamond Sports Hotshots, gray and red uniforms. Just outside of Houston, Texas, in Pearland, Texas. The black uniforms worn by the Tennessee Mojo, black and orange. Out of Cookeville, Tennessee, in the middle of the state. This is the 12U Premier Girls Fastpitch Premier National Championship game. Both of these teams undefeated and earning their way here. Popped up, beat her. Running it in on her hands, popped up to the right side. Morales puts that one away. We've played one on a beautiful day in Southern California, 12U National Championship. Boy, what a great shot that is up above Bill Barber Park, Deanna Manning Stadium here in Irvine, California. If you just really want to get a good run in, it'd be a nice run, but you could run to the beach from here, and it's that kind of day. I think, fortunately, for what has been a hot Southern California week, the week ends with some Southern California breezes to make it a little bit more bearable for the athletes. Not used to when it gets to the mid to the high 90s in Southern California. That's why real estate's so expensive. That's uncomfortable. Paris Kimball is the catcher. Diamond Sports Hotshots. Paris, the 8th grader at Timberwood Middle School, leads things off. And a part of some championships as well and other events. Matter of fact, Ray calls an event she and her team won in Kansas City. Being the catcher in the game and receiving that final out and the feeling that she felt she was sharing, it's hard to describe. When you're 11 and 12 and 13 years old, you hope it's just the beginning. That's the stuff for athletes like Paris that keep you coming back for more. She's got the responsibility of being the oldest sibling, for what that's worth. Jaden is 9 and CJ is 5, her 2 younger siblings. I'm sure Haley and Cedric have some expectations for that reason as she takes a strike, 3 and 2. Steve Jones has built quite a program here at this 12U age group. Dies at home plate under the swing of Kimball, a perfect location because she started it at about the knees down the middle.
Yeah, Danley works quickly from the mound. Look at the break down and into the right-handed hitter. That is a difficult pitch to get that barrel angled up and connected with. It's a nice strikeout pitch.
Bouncing ball left side, 2 steps, playing tight already. Caitlin Saylor gets Michaela Williams, 1 pitch, 1 out. Williams, the 8th grader at Elk Grove Elementary. We'll tell you a little bit later on about mom and dad who are really good college basketball players. The future on the diamond, she hopes, as Brianna Fuentes takes her shot as we take a look at that shot. And takes strike 1. Oh, she does work quickly.
Works quickly, throws strikes. Both sides of the plate, mixes off speed.
Like that.
Like that, right on cue. Look at the arm motion through, looks just like that drop curve she throws in the inside part of the plate.
Charging, defense ready. Folks, that was a half inning, if I've ever seen one. Strike throwing, working quickly, defense ready. Do it, Ashton Danley. We've got all sorts of fun on the diamond at the 12U PGF National Championship.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, to be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
Malaysia DeLesson leads things off. DeLesson like he got her arm there, and right away, before we could even introduce you to Malaysia, she is on. Heading into 8th grade at Mount Verde Middle School. Part of this 2023 Mojo team that has already won a national championship 2 years ago.
Look at that front foot striding just outside the box, but that ball rides in.
Rose Davis drops one down. They were ready for it. Sacrifice bunt and a beauty. Fuentes pounced right on top. But the key to get the runner along, and Rose Davis does just that. The 8th grader at Middle Tennessee Christian School.
A good sacrifice bunt on the inside pitch, keeps her concentration, sees that ball down. Even though the fielders are scrunched in tight, it's her responsibility to put it in play and move her teammate over.
High bouncing ball. Charging in between first and second, making the play. Angelina Morales. Runner moves to third, but if you're Samaya Jones, you're doing exactly what you want to do. You're engaging the hitters. Both these pitchers are not messing around. And you're going to get better defensive plays. Look, I know that's cliche, but it's just true.
Yeah, when you throw strikes and you let your defense know what's coming, be predictable out there in the circle, they're on their toes better, they make better plays.
Fuentes and Brown are tight on the corners defensively. For Kylie Strott. Strott in the hold, 0-1 with the swing and a miss. 8th grader. Also an outstanding midfielder on the lacrosse field. Loves the sport of lacrosse. Fly ball, center field, ranging to her right. Play made easy by Polar. She's made a couple of fine plays today. On the attack in the championship game, both arms in the circle. So when you think about memories that you make, and you maybe as a young athlete can do it twice before you're even 13, that's exactly what this Tennessee Mojo club has to look back upon. Names like Jace Jackson and Ashton Danley amongst the 6 on that team. A little bit of luck goes into it, a lot of trust with your teamwork. Good families, certainly in their dedication, but to do this twice in 2 years, wow.
That's exciting. You got to imagine the team's thinking, okay, you guys, if we stick together, we have a pretty cool path ahead of us. And I think this is so important, especially when you think of what is beyond this age level, what's beyond 18 and under. When you get to college, having been on this kind of a stage and having done it more than once, it breeds that competitiveness and something that college coaches really want in their athletes.
Angelina Morales, curveball, hits the inside corner. Morales aspires to play for LSU, Texas A&M someday. Angelina's the second baseman for this Hotshots team. In the gray and red uniforms just outside of Houston, Texas. In Pearland, Texas, south. Angelina's mom is Larissa, her dad is Gerardo. And she takes high. She's put herself in a good spot. 3-1 is the count. Full count, peeking in from under those shades, Ashton Danley. Steve Jones looks on, down Morales goes on strikes. Nice comeback from a 3-1 count.
Well, there's no break in the rhythm for Danley out there in the circle. She just gets on, she delivers. Even if it's a ball, she gets right back on, goes to work, comes back for the strikeout.
Ariana Cruz. 0-1 the count. She spins that beautifully, starts it right at the kneecap of the hitter, and that curveball ends up on the inside corner. Angleton Junior High School, heading into 8th grade, wrapping up that part of her experience. One more year before high school starts for Ariana, and that's really the sweet spot of this age group, finishing up middle school, high school around the corner. We all remember that age. It's kind of that age where you're starting to bang on the ceiling. You're ready to go be with older kids, older athletes. Maybe a leadership role when you're an 8th grader. That's high, 3-1 the count. Cruz has played all sports and played them well. Basketball, ran track successfully, loved softball, volleyball, and soccer. And she'll show that speed as Cruz earns the walk. It was 7 in a row sat down. Cruz ends the string. Polar reach to start this game off, Mariah did with the walk. And here she is again. Infield tight, 2-3 steps in on the corner. 0-1 the count.
Not a lot of swinging coming from the Hotshots right now. They're being very patient in the box and really making Danley work out there in the circle.
It's that fine line of patience and aggression, but there have been the 2 walks. Both these pitchers have been dotting the strike zone. And to even find your way to a walk if you're Cruz is quite impressive. Runner goes, throw down, a little bit late in covering, but a great jump. We're talking about Cruz, how she plays all sports as well as running track. That's a great stolen base.
And a good decision with the lefty in the box, taking a swing. It's blinding for a minute with that runner takes off, and the throw a little high, but a great snack up there by Davis.
Inside, tied her up. Nowhere for those hands to go. Strikeout number 3. Polar goes down.
Now the previous pitch was down, and this one was just a little bit more down, a little bit more in. It's a great pitch on after the setup.
That's a great shot a moment ago of Ashton Danley, who can play anywhere on the diamond, letting her defense know, hey, maybe a step here or there. I'll hit my spots, and when I do, you may be better off, and you could see her moving them a moment ago. Not uncommon as you get older, right?
No, and it's really helpful for the defense when you have a pitcher in the circle who hits her spots, and you can kind of give you a hint as to where she's anticipating this ball going. You can be in better position, make better plays.
Well, she had her out front of that changeup. McGee did all she could, Maddie, to keep her hands back.
And from the circle, you really tend to sense a lot from the hitters that other position players can't.
No defense needed this inning. 3 strikeouts and a walk. She could have leaned them all against the fence.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
A building is only as strong as the foundation it's built upon. That's why family-owned Morris Shea has been providing deep foundation and earth retention systems throughout the United States and the Caribbean since 1969. From heavy industrial projects to bridges, schools, sports stadiums, and government buildings, we have the technical expertise to handle even the most geologically and environmentally challenging sites. Because at Morris Shea, we know there's nothing more important than a strong foundation. Visit us at morrisshea.com to see how we can help support your next project.
What makes a thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
The 12U Premier Girls Fastpitch Premier National Championship game. Out of Pearland, Texas, the Diamond Sports Hotshots, the Tennessee Mojo. That travel club out of Cookeville, Tennessee in Central Tennessee, and there is some thunder in this bat. Home run beware, Emily Hawks with big power. 8th grader, Siegel Middle School, digs in. And she's pitched respectfully on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. The TP in this one, Hawks. And she is a home run contest winner, home run club member for both her years of junior high. And that's how you handle it. Away, then soft.
It's almost unfair when you do that. You work ahead with that hard pitch on the outside corner, and the hitter's looking for another something hard, and then you come with the changeup.
For Hawks, Crystal, his mom, John, his dad. He's got 2 younger siblings. Hits it hard to the right side on a backhand from the knees. What a great effort. Popped out of that glove. Tough break there, Morales. We've seen good defense this entire game. Good effort by Morales. Brown just couldn't hold on.
And this is some solid contact. A nice stop by Morales from the knees. Makes the throw a little high. It is catchable, but just pops in and out of the glove of Ava Brown. But still, Morales over, giving her teammate a high five. Nice try. Could have been a little better on both sides, but good effort.
Jace Jackson fly to center field back in the first inning. Mom Shermika, a softball player, played quite a bit aggressively when she was younger, played well. Boy, choked up on that bat, pops the bunt up back to the screen. Samaya Jones has had to deal with base runners. In the first, there was a single. In the second, she hit a batter to lead things off, but then cleaned it up nicely. Now she has Hawks out there. With 2 great athletes dueling here in the circle and then in the box, and that one fouled off. Don't take pitchers and put them in a certain club for sure, because this pitcher is an elite sprinter. First place runner, track, 100 meters, 4x100, 4x200, constantly earning gold. Out towards short, sneaks on through. It tied up McKee, so a couple of tough breaks defensively behind Samaya Jones. We'll see how she pulls it together along with her defense.
This looks like it could have been an easy out at second. Just hops up over the glove of McKee over there at shortstop. But this was a well-hit ball, so you could see it skip up off the dirt into the outfield.
The number 2 hitter, Anna Roman. Roman singled in the first inning. 2 runners on, nobody out, bottom of the third.
Be on time, baby.
Be on time, they holler from the dugout. She tried it. Looked like she was on it. 0-1 the count. Think about Samaya in that circle, the genes that were handed down. Her dad is a black belt, works hard in Taekwondo still, ran track in high school. His daughter misses outside with that one. Mom a softball player. Mom ran track in high school as well. Athletics a big part of her upbringing. kind of second nature. When you talk with her about it, she seems like she's been playing longer than she's been alive. It's Samaya who fires it over the outside corner to Roman. Screwball in a dandy. Wow. That's a huge out with those runners staying put. Watch the spin on this one.
Yeah, this is a great sequence of pitches, finishing with that screwball just down at the knees on the outside part of the plate. Nothing you can do to get that barrel on. And a big strikeout for Samaya.
Ashton Danley. Fellow pitcher hits it on a line to the bag. That's all you need. That's all you need. Just step on the bag. That'll be those 3 outs. As she throws it wildly. You can smile. You got the 3rd out. Cleaning things up nicely. There were a couple of runners on, and then they weren't. Picture postcard day in Southern California. Amanda Freed, Darren Sutton, and you, thanks for spending time with us wherever you may be. We know you're passionate about this sport. The true national championship for youth softball is the premier girls Fastpitch national championship. And we move into the 4th inning where there has been 1 hit shared between these 2 teams, and part of the reason, fine defensive plays, a couple of miscues that were moved right by, and pitchers like Ashton Danley doing a great job along with Samaya Jones. So you jump from 10 to 12. What sharpens quickest for athletes from 10 to 12, maybe prior to being 16 or 18?
Oh my gosh, I think it's different for every athlete. I think the amount of time put in and the concentrated mental side of the game, I think there's way more of that. Yeah, the mind starts to develop. You start to understand the game a lot better.
And you can understand the game all you want, but I have no idea how you stay back on a changeup like that one.
That was a good changeup.
Ava Brown says, look, I've learned a lot, but please teach me how to stay back on that pitch. And it was a good one. Rolled out toward 3rd. Premier Girls Fastpitch. President Dan Hayes joining us, and obviously, Dan, this is an exciting time. We just saw a great 10U championship. Now we're looking at this 12U age group, and I think it's fun as you develop the younger ages. And thanks for allowing us a chance to be here. When you see a team like the Mojo, who's trying to win it twice, and they're only 12 years old, that says a lot for softball around the rest of the country.
Absolutely. This is the future of our program right now, these 10s and 12 and under kids. And this Mojo team was phenomenal 2 years ago when they won the 10 and under championship, and they were very gracious and happy. And to see them back here 2 years later tells you that they truly have a very strong group of kids at a very young age.
So when you think about the growth of this event and the space in California and the beautiful fields out here to take advantage of, I tell you, I didn't know if you ever thought it would grow this fast. It appears close to 600 teams this year.
Well, the program just continues to amaze us. We know if we continue to put a solid product on the field that we're going to have success, and we continue to try to do things right for these parents and these kids. And the program is showing it. Next year, we're looking most likely to be over 700 teams in this national championship.
Wow. And you just keep expanding. Teams are knocking at the door every year to come to this tournament. It keeps getting bigger, yet the quality of the tournament seems to rise to that occasion as well.
Well, we're staying up with the times the best we can, and we pride ourselves in not having anybody be a close second to us. There is no one that puts on a national championship in the country like we do, and it is the best show in the country, and we continue to get those best teams.
Ava Brown deals with a tough changeup. She goes down on strikes. PGF President and CEO Dan Hay is joining us up here in the broadcast booth. And then the support of the community. Obviously, we'll talk a lot about the philanthropic side as well. but just the families and the community and those that maybe just, rec level softball players or those that come out, they gather here at this beautiful ballpark. Your community makes this happen too, and even the businesses in the community that take part.
Yeah, everybody's on board here, is the bottom line. And obviously, we raise a lot of money for the John Wayne Cancer Institute.
Exactly.
And we've, so far, we're well over $300,000 over the last 6-7 years that we've donated to that great cause. I did want to say that one of the main reasons for our growth, when you mentioned the rec ball level,
yes,
the growth is mainly due to our platinum levels. So we're getting more and more of the second-tier teams or just missing the top-tier teams participating because they want to make that premier division, and they're shooting to get to that premier division. But if they don't quite make it, the platinum division is now growing. So they want to compete in that platinum division because whoever wins it gets an automatic bid to the premier division the following year.
So wait, if the ultimate goal is to just grow the sport in a healthy way, that's what it's doing, right?
Absolutely.
Because if you think about it, that's an organic, follow me here folks, that's an organic aspirational model. You have friends, you have cousins that play, and it's good, it's healthy to want to grow to that next level, but yet you're playing and you're active.
Yeah, absolutely. And even in the platinum division, there is no easy game here at PGF Nationals. Whether you're considered the number 40th team in the country or the number 1st team in the country, you can win or lose at any time. And to make it to this championship game, they've truly had to work hard. There's a lot of luck on their side too, that the calls have gone right, and they happen to be living on the right side of the spectrum here to get to this game. So
one of the great parts of these 2 weekends, in the first weekend is the high school All-American game. What type of response have you gotten, especially over the last 365 days after you rolled it out last year? What type of response have you gotten for such a unique event in this sport?
Well, believe it or not, this is our 3rd year now. And there will be a sold-out crowd tonight. This is known throughout the country, this All-American game. The top 42, I believe, this year, kids in the country that are picked by On Deck Softball and USA Today and the Gatorade Player of the Year and PGF. There's a lot of big heavyweight names I just mentioned that's picking these squads, and it is a show. It's a great game, and it'll be obviously live on television. So.
Yeah, we'll have it on ESPNU. Excited about that as we go behind the plate with Paris Kimball has her opportunity. Look, Amanda and I have talked whether we were broadcasting, and we're having a conversation with Dan Hay, the president and CEO of PGF. We've been talking throughout the college season when we broadcasted games together now here this summer about the evolution of recruiting and the recruiting rules that have come down to where it allows, many say, for more development, more focus on being young, and that makes you guys even more important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, basically, the recruiting has now gone back to the days when I was coaching.
Correct.
And you can't talk to these athletes till way farther along in the process in their junior and senior year. It was just getting ridiculous where the college coaches were able to talk to these kids at the 10 and 12 and under level, and it was putting a lot of pressure on these families. And I got to give the college coaches some kudos here. They stepped up and did the responsible thing to get this fix on their own.
And so you guys provide the platform to do it better and better, allow the players to develop. Doesn't mean that word won't travel about talented 12U players. It will. But that's got to give you a lot of pride in even doing things right, even more so.
Absolutely. We usually are hand in hand with our college coaches across the country, and we listen to them and they listen to us, and we are always trying to make the sport better.
So Maya Jones, leaving early a moment ago, is called out on that attempt. Amanda will take another peek at that one.
You're going off on the swing. It could have been a hit and run. Could have been just a straight steal, but you could see off the bag before the pitch is released. The hands of the umpire go up, and she's called out.
So what's next outside of massive growth? Let's go bigger. Let's go outside of Southern California, as you guys do, with huge impact. Border to border. If I see PGF in 5 years, border to border, what will I see?
Well, a lot of what you see right now, we have regional and state directors throughout the country. There are tournaments being played year-round in camps and clinics, and we are continuing to grow that market.
We're excited. Thank you. Thanks for allowing us to be here again this year.
Thank you very much.
Dan Hay, the president and CEO of PGF. It's a great week. It's a great 2 weeks The opening ceremony, it starts with fun, then the battles are on the diamond in SoCal.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Michael Danley is the head coach of the Tennessee Mojo program. Coach, it's rare to have a team experience a championship ever. But to have a team have a chance to come back and do it in the space of 2 years is incredibly unique. What's the conversation like amongst those who were just 10 years old when they already had a chance to win it all 2 years back?
You know, it's been an amazing experience. The girls have bought in. You know, our program's real unique because we have girls from all over. We got girls from Ohio, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida, and so they are required to do so much work on their own with zero practice. We have not had one practice this season. And so, you know, they have to buy into what we believe.
So is that the biggest difference you see from that 10 and under division when they were here last to 12s now? You've been with them. What in terms of development do you see as the biggest difference in this team?
Well, the crazy thing is I've only got about 5 girls that are back from the 10U team. Actually, the girl playing first base for the Hotshots was actually my first baseman in the 10U team. So she's been here before. So, you know, they've split up and stayed a little more local a little bit. And, you know, in travel ball, you have a little turnover. But, you know, just buying in, it's amazing to watch them work and accomplish the goals and want to try to get to the next level.
So, Michael, do you know anything about this pitcher, this Ashton Danley? Can you tell us a little bit about her successes?
Well, you know, that's my daughter.
I knew that.
So,
I knew that.
I've sat on the bucket once or twice. You know, she's an unbelievable worker at it. We have a great pitching coach back home, Stephanie Sane in Knoxville, Tennessee. She played at UT back in the day. And she has just really bought into what she believes and works hard at it day in and day out. I wish her bat would pick up a little bit, but, you know, we'll try to figure out to scratch one across here in a minute.
Oh, pause. You just sounded like a dad. We'll let you go with that one. Hey, congratulations on your journey so far.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Well, Michael Danley, the head coach of the Mojo team. Oops, sounded like a dad. I love it. I love it. That's great. The classic Southern drawl, and we appreciate him giving up his time. And you can say all you want from your comfortable chair, wherever you may be taking this in. Well, why wouldn't they? Well, they've put in a lot of time to get to this point. They in many ways are much, much, much more anxious than the players. There's no stretch at all to think that his butterflies are a lot bigger than anybody out there on the field because you care as a parent. DeLasia earned a walk there. Leja is at first. This is Rose Davis. Squares the bunt. Has it get by. Dellison will move up.
Going for the sacrifice bunt. The screwball in tight. Almost catches the back leg. Moves the runner over, so the sacrifice is off for now.
Older brother Jack, who's 15, plays a ton of baseball. Sis Rose drops down that bunt and moves the runner to third. You take a chance. Maybe you make them make a play. Maybe it's errant, but in Worst case scenario, you have that runner at third. There are 2 outs though. And if you're Samaya Jones, you're fine with that. Caitlin Saylor. Brother's been a part of that 15U national team for USA Baseball. Brother Jared, Dad Brian, and Mom Lisa. Dad was selected by the Giants, drafted out of high school, bounced around a bit in their minor league system. It's interesting, we were talking earlier about the merging of baseball and softball. Maybe I'm missing something. It seems like the 2 bodies are working together more than ever. And that comes from the top, though. That one is high and away. We hear brothers play, sisters play, dad played. Sometimes dad plays fast pitch, mom plays. It seems to be a much more easy and comfortable merging. 2 sports are dramatically different. We know that, the differences, but there are similarities too.
Oh, there are a ton of similarities.
Bounced out toward third, across the diamond. One misstep that'll cost you a run, but guess what? For Brianna Fuentes, there was no misstep. We played 4 Hotshots, Mojo, the 12U PGF Premier National Championship. Scoreless ball game, top half of inning number 5. The 12U PGF Premier National Championship game. Amanda Freed, Darren Sutton, and you. Glad you're with us. What gives here, Amanda Freed? What blinks? What happens? Second time through the order now, seeing pitchers who are old enough to make adjustments. Defenses really haven't betrayed one another, maybe once or twice. This is just a good old-fashioned game. You even think that maybe a mistake up, one over the boards might change this game.
Right, I know. What is going to give? I think that's the question. Is pitching has been solid, on point, and even when the door has been cracked a little, it's been slammed shut again.
And a pitch below the knees, an aggressive attack by Michaela Williams. That's twice she's seen something that looked good, only to dive and end up as a ground ball out. Daughter of 2 great college basketball players, Patrick and LaTanya. Rolls out to the third base side. Big part of the story under those sunglasses, Ashton Danley. Under that face mask and those reflective shades, she has been outstanding. Again, traffic every inning, outside of a clean second inning, and 5 strikeouts. What have you liked watching Ashton do?
I like the
in
pace.
The circle?
I like her routine. I like her pace. She's a quick worker. She throws a lot of strikes. She's got a nice, clean motion also.
Okay.
You know, at this age, you tend to keep having to fine-tune to find the smoothest motion possible, but from looking at her path in the future looks clean and injury-free, which is something as a pitching coach and a future coach I would be very excited, but I just think she's got a lot going for her, a lot of potential.
It's that interesting thing, and I'd love your take on this, especially 10, 12, even 14, where instincts are important. Understanding the sport is important. Skills are too, but you almost don't want to look too robotic from all the time you put in learning from people like you. As that one is rolled out to the left side. Another easy chance at third, if that makes sense. I mean, if you're thinking too much of what did Amanda tell me in this situation, then maybe you need to gain more of those instincts. That makes sense?
No, absolutely.
I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, totally. It's an athletic move. If you're a pitcher and it doesn't feel natural and comfortable in your motion, then something is not right, and you shouldn't have to be robotic about it. I think that's the tough thing today is there is so much information.
Right.
You know, we know so much from video and film and just the years of breaking down the motions and the hitting stance and everything that sometimes we get too much information and we forget to just be athletic.
That's right out in front. of the home plate area. And that's a great instinctive play by Kylie Straught, the catcher. She got Ashton Danley out of the way. That is a 1-2-3 inning.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
Bottom half of inning number 5, the home team, a long ways from home. Cookeville, Tennessee, Mojo. The visiting team certainly visiting as well from Pearland, Texas, south of Houston, in the gray and red uniforms. Diamond Sports Hotshots, Olympian and All-American Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton. And you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with us. We trust wherever you've watched your last ball game, it was a good one. Change up, fly ball, center field. Hangs up for plenty enough time for Holder to make the play out there. That's Kylie Struck. Get the fly ball out. Emily Hawks. Her opportunity next. That's what we talk about. A mistake up if you stay back long enough. These are hitters with the power to shrink this ballpark at this age. And this is one of those hitters. Hits it hard on the ground. Twice she's done that, and twice she's an out. Certainly the ability to see the softball and square it up, Emily Hawks, and that's where you keep those dangerous hitters down below the knees. Samaya Jones has been outstanding. She's got some good defense behind her. She's got a great outfield. Rolled out to the left side. Good communication. My goodness. 1, 2, 3 back-to-back half innings. The pitchers have taken over the 12U PGF National Championship. Pearland, Texas, just outside of Houston. Steve Jones, one of the key leaders for the Diamond Sports Hotshots, great travel ball program. More than a half decade of existence. Steve, if you have a program now that has had time to build its foundation, and I would ask you what are some of those important attributes of the foundation of your program, what would you tell me, Steve?
Oh wow, well, so with respect to the entire program, there are several principles that our program tends to push through to all of the teams, and we're building pretty quickly, but I'd say development, family, and commitment. Those are 3 very big things in our program, and that bleeds down to our team just as much, and that's what I've done with these girls. Try to get them to build themselves as a team based upon getting better every day, being committed to the sport and to growing as young ladies, and to enjoying their families and having fun.
Coach, Samaya in the circle and your defense are getting it done. What's it going to take offensively to break this game open?
Well, it looks like it's a pitcher's duel right here, but we have several ways of scoring, and that's what we're going to have to do. The number one thing for us is execution. If we execute properly, we will get a run or two in, without a doubt. Ashton, the pitcher on the other side, she's a tough pitcher. The ball moves quite a bit. Our girls are just now trying to figure out what she's doing to them, and once they do, I think we'll execute and we'll get something across the home plate.
Steve, congratulations on your journey so far, you and Valerie and Martin and all of your players.
Thank you so much.
Steve Jones, the head coach of Diamond Sports Hotshots here in this championship game. Valerie moves into that third base coach's box on his behalf. We appreciate him having that conversation with us. We talked about Martin Poehler and Moriah. His daughter gets into that box. Martin's in that first base coach's box. Martin built on that box like he's, as Steve looks on, looks like he should be a sixth man coming off the bench on a basketball team. Lean and athletic. Either that or an Olympic hurdler. But that's Dad. He's watching daughter work now. Just off the plate, good 0-2 pitch. Oh, baby. Oh, my. Coach is right, Steve is right. It does spin a lot. There's a lot of movement.
Yeah, and it's tough to adjust to the off speed as well.
A lot of optimism in his answer. He's dealing with this pitcher, though, Ashton Danley.
And she has just been lights out. Look at the movement on that drop ball down through the zone. We've seen a really nice curveball, and then she's complementing it all with that changeup. But both righties and lefties mixed up on her pitches, up and down in the zone.
One ball, two strikes, one away. Premier Girls Fastpitch 12U National Championship game, the Premier Division. And a team that won this at the 10U age group 2 years ago, Tennessee Mojo, working defensively in black and orange. Out of Cookeville, Tennessee. Moriah with a good take as that one dips low. One step to the right. Shortstop Rose Davis gets it right across. It's the approach with a pitch that's away. It's just tough to square her up, especially the last, 3-4 innings. She was touched a little bit. There is not a hit on the scoreboard, but a couple of walks, a couple of base runners. It's just been those 3 walks, that's all.
Now you feel like the swings are more defensive swings, trying to put the ball in play rather than just opening it up and being able to swing.
Maybe this opens it up. No, got the bat twice, I think. So it's a dead ball. Mandy McKee, good idea.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. Good job of getting the barrel out front. Unfortunately, just stayed out there a little bit too long, bounced up and caught it the second time.
A little swinging bunt. Defense is there to answer the bell. 6 innings of work for Ashton Danley. No hits allowed. Just 3 walks, that's all. This is the national championship game.
You want to bring the heat? Prove it. With carbs to help fuel muscles. And electrolytes to help replace what you lose in sweat. Studied, tested, proven. Nothing beats Gatorade.
No matter the age of the girls I train, you can always tell the ones that may go far. It's in their eyes. It's in their focus. They know it doesn't need to be pretty or perfect. Growth will come. You can see when they own that. When they decide that getting better is more important than their fear of failing. That's when their game changes. That's when everything changes. That's when these girls become unstoppable.
So no hitter being spun, yet you're one bounce or break away from jumping on top without a hit. Tennessee Mojo have just the one hit. It's been Samaya Jones against Ashton Danley in the PGF 12U Premier Division National Title game. And all it takes is strike one from Samaya Jones to get Anna Roman, the 6th grader.
We've seen a lot of this one pitch ground outs. And these are contributing to the quick innings. I mean, we've seen a handful of pitches thrown in several innings that it feels like the pitchers are just pumping strikes and the hitter's not able to square up.
Speaking of pitchers, here she is hitting. Without allowing a hit in this one, she stays back as long as she can on the changeup, and she's got an infield base hit. And kind of an uncomfortable lunge by Angelina Morales, and you hope she's okay. She hit that dirt pretty hard. I don't think she had a play for an out, but you hope this wouldn't have happened.
Now it looks like it could have possibly been the ankle knee hyperextending. It didn't look comfortable.
Yeah, it took a stride. You'll see it here. Yeah, it looked like the ankle rolling. She tried to plant and turn in hopes of making that throw, and then the ankle just gave. It's Angelina Morales, who has played such a strong second base. Look, most second basemen don't get there. PGF medical staff out there, the training staff checking it. She's seeing how much movement she can get. Meantime, there's a little bit of movement that goes on with. Yeah, she is up, but she is probably not going on. There's no probably in it. That was a good old-fashioned roll of the ankle. We hate to see it happen the way that Morales had played, and now they will play even more inspired for their teammate. And it looks like Ava Brown will now move into the circle. So Brown, the 8th grader, Oak Hills Junior High, who was at first base. Keep an eye on how this all moves around defensively. Brown, a power hitter, and also loves to work in the circle as well. This is one hitter who may change the contest when leading off the next inning. She's got huge, huge power. Bella Perez is now the first baseman, number 21, Bella Perez. Maddie McKee moves over and is at first. Maddie McKee at first from short. And then out of the circle and out to short as it moves all around is Samaya Jones, this great all-around athlete. That's the reason that choice was made. Mac Huddleston, Michaela Huddleston. Quick conversation. Maybe something with regard to playing in the field that the pitcher still has on. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Get that ironed out quick enough.
Be patient, Mac. Be patient here,
Emily Potts, by the way, is the runner at first. Got the outside corner. Potts, an 8th grader, out there running. Says her strongest scoutable is her hustle. Big hustler, and she hopes to be able to hustle on around for a key run. Jim and Sandra are dad and mom. Sarah and Caitlin are her sisters. Went right through it. Runner moves up. Second out of the inning, though. Big second out of the inning. Potts is in scoring position. Laisha Dellison with her opportunity. She's been on twice today, hit by a pitch. Laisha has walked as well. Lifted, left field, down, base hit. They'll stop the runner, it's bobbled, if only for a moment, and that moment allows the run to score. Emily Potts, the hustler, hustles on down when given the green light, and in this crucial contest, a run means everything. 1-0.
Well, there have not been very many hits, but no bigger than this one. She's holding up at third, but then the ball kicked around a little bit in left field, and that allows the run to score, but some clutch hitting by Dellison.
Who's had a hard time finding it out there. When you score in that manner and you score in what may be your final half inning, the momentum you can create, now you look up at that board and you think, we've got 3 outs to get and we're champs. You'd love more though. Runner moved up. Dellison is at second base. High fly ball center field off the bat of Rose Davis. Hanging in the balance. A championship, a no-hitter. An incredible contest, the 12U PGF National Championship. So read into it what you will, because there's not a lot to read. In the end, a single run without a single hit allowed could turn out to be the story that these athletes will never forget. And don't forget, this is a Tennessee Mojo team, the team out of Middle Tennessee, Cookeville, Tennessee, that won the PGF 10U National Championship 2 years ago. Ashton Danley has been the story. She has yet to allow a hit. And she deals strike one to Ava Brown. Brown, who moved into the circle, has big power. "22 long balls throughout her summer ball season and the multiple games. Big power. One swing can tie it right back up.
It's hard not to step into the box with that idea in your head also. You want to get base runners if possible. Just have a nice quality at bat.
Two and two the count. You think about the inspirations for Danley in this situation. Her sister Taylor battles cerebral palsy. She says she's the most loving person I'll ever meet. Teaches me never to regret anything I ever do. You think about that kind of inspiration with her sister on a day like today, and how close and how much family means to her with Michael and Brandy, and obviously with Dad as her head coach. You heard the pride when he kind of leaned on her about the hitting, by the way. But you think about that family unit. Taylor, by the way, 17 years old, older assist. Brown goes down on strikes. She was sharing with us, not only do I love my sister, I am thankful to have a sister like her for perspective and life and selflessness. Older sister Maddie as well. This bunch from Tennessee has been fun to hang out with all week long.
You going, Stick?
We know there's all sorts of recruiting rules. We respect them when we say, hey, Florida State, Ashton Danley would love to play for you someday. So keep an eye out. Bouncing ball out toward third. 1 out away. Brandy, how about that?
You know, this is for the parents too. These parents work hard all year long, shuttling these athletes to lessons, to practices, to games, to tournaments. So this is a big opportunity for the parents and the families as well.
In on the hands, popped up, it's down for a base hit. So Paris Kimball breaks up the no-hitter. Turns out to be the tying run, and in a nail-biting 1-0 game, a single hit means everything. And if you're the Hotshots, you think just keep moving them around.
Yeah, definitely, and the no-no's gone, but this is a base hit that could get things started. There are 2 outs, though, here in the 7th inning.
That first hit in the contest. Change up, right back to work, unfazed Ashton Danley. Dad played baseball at Tennessee Wesleyan. We heard Coach and Dad earlier. Williams takes outside. So Williams has been aggressive. She's seen just a couple of pitches, that's it. So for her to see 2, she's equaled her game tally. There is leverage and thunder in this bat too. But a changeup has her uncomfortable, 1-2 the count.
Now the heart is racing. You want so badly to come through in this situation. When that changeup comes, it's hard to lay off of. It's a good pitch in this situation.
Back behind the plate. Souvenir softball, and so we do it again. The 9th year of the Premier Girls Fastpitch National Championship. Close to 600 teams in all age groups this year. This 12U division, Platinum and Premier, this being the Premier level, has put on quite a show. Excited about the future of this sport. And so we do it again. Galen, that batter's box, hopes to study sports medicine someday. Just felt obliged to swing at that high changeup.
You never know what's going to get called. If you can get your barrel on it, get it out of the way, get something you can handle.
Bouncing ball, middle of the diamond. That'll do it! For the second time in as many years, the Tennessee Mojo are Premier Girls Fastpitch National Champions this year at the 12U Premier age group. It wasn't a no-hitter, but my goodness, was it a perfect day for the Tennessee Mojo squad and who they are as a team and the way they honored their program. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Okay. Coach just said, I'm going to give in. Michael Danley has never enjoyed being cold that much. The Gatorade cold shower on the proud head coach and dad, by the way, will close this out. Congratulations to both these squads. From Texas and Tennessee, Premier Girls Fastpitch 12U, they've crowned a national champion. We'll cool off and wrap it up in a bit.
Everyone has insecurities, and it really is about what you choose to do with them. Insecurities don't have to define you, but they can create a story for you. There's a positive way to be fulfilled through female athletics. If I could do one thing, it would just be to give someone the inspiration, be able to be more than they ever thought they could be.
A building is only as strong as the foundation it's built upon. That's why family-owned Morris Shea has been providing deep foundation and earth retention systems throughout the United States and the Caribbean since 1969. From heavy industrial projects to bridges, schools, sports stadiums, and government buildings, we have the technical expertise to handle even the most geologically and environmentally challenging sites. Because at Morris Shea, we know there's nothing more important than a strong foundation. Visit us at morrisshea.com to see how we can help support your next project.
What makes a Thunderbolt? They pitch faster, hit farther, run quicker, go harder. They bring home championships and build relationships. They never quit and strive to push through any obstacle that may come their way, for themselves, for each other, for their future. Because it's not about the game, it's about the girls. Visit us online to learn more about how you can become a Thunderbolt.
Softball's true national championship, the Premier Girls Fastpitch National Championship, and the Tennessee Mojo, the 12U Premier Division National Champions for the second time in as many years. Second time in the last couple of years. They won it 2 years ago as well. I think, Amanda, one of the most exciting things about this was the efforts in the circle for both teams. The Diamond Sports Hotshots with Samaya Jones and Ava Brown, and then for the Mojo, Ashton Danley, who took a no-hitter into the final inning.
Yeah, the story really was in the circle on both sides, but it turns out Ashton Danley and the Mojo was the team that got the run across for the win, but Danley just brilliant in the circle. She was mixing her pitches so well, and she just looked in complete control. A championship kind of pitcher, one that looks like she loves the spotlight. She loves this tough situation out here, and I think one we're going to see out here quite a few times in the future.
Yeah, it's interesting. So you've seen them twice. You and I have been behind the microphone for both. We've been fortunate. What makes a championship team? Because you don't come back and play with 6 teams. There's hundreds you have to beat along the way, including regionally. Yeah,
I think all the coaches that we've talked to they've nailed it on the head. It's the buy-in to the program, the buy-in to the process, the camaraderie of the girls, the working hard. You talk to these athletes about, and the parents and families about the balance and just hard work and what they put out there on the field, and I think that's really the winning recipe when you get out here.
In beautiful Southern California, another champion has been crowned and more memories have been made. Congratulations to these great athletes, very young in their journeys, and their journeys they hope that takes them into playing college softball. It's been a lot of fun. So Premier Girls Fastpitch, the true national championship at the 10U. The 12U right in front of our eyes, 14, 16, and 18U, and of course the home each year of the PGF High School All-Star Game. Congratulations to both teams. This has been a presentation of Premier Girls Fastpitch. Our producer-director, John Walsh. She is Amanda Freed. Love her insights. My name is Darren Sutton, and until next time, we'll see all of you at the ballpark.